Yo, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another weekly market breakdown. Today, we will be taking a look at the index, German 30, the Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and gold from both a technical and a fundamental perspective. If you do enjoy the video, please do consider smashing that thumbs up button. But before we get there, I just want to go through some of the questions that I have received based on the last video. Let's go through over yesterday's content. Mr. Clever Choice is saying people hate progress. Don't stop what you're doing. No, that won't stop what I am doing. 100%. Do you think they reported you because your involvement with Zaid in terms of selling the FastPass service, which he's not authorized to do? So no, they have, as I've said in the video, they've made a reference to a podcast. To an interview that I did with Rydel, where I made it seem as if I have a license to act as a financial services provider. Mr. TD Noob saying a lot of haters out there. Sorry about this, keep posting their analysis fast, no problem. As when I think someone is using your name and maybe they are scamming that person. We all know you don't sell anything, you are a legit trader. Yes, I do not sell anything. However, there was someone that was offering services. But again, guys, if you watched the video, you'd have noticed I did say exactly where and why whoever decided to file a complaint, because I still don't get how, like do you just sit there and go, okay, like you just watch an interview and you go, okay, he said something there that he's not supposed to say. It's like saying, it's like, or you maybe say something without the intent of wanting people to think a certain way, but then there's someone sitting there and going, no, this is exactly what he mean. And I think this is what happened here, because I mean, there's so many companies and people that I know that offer services which they are not licensed to do in South Africa. Millions of people, and it's funny that these people, they still operate where I do not do any of these things, which is, again, I know it was whoever did this was obviously saying that no, this guy needs to be stopped. Look, I always tell people, don't come at me through social media. Whoever it was, sort of just send me an email and say, you know what, let's meet up. But okay, it's over. I'm not gonna go through that. Say Masa Hectic Siwa saying, I think another issue is that Rydel keeps saying that I've actually spoken to Rydel. Yes, I've said to Rydel, please, just don't don't that's too aggressive, my friend. Just leave it. Delvane saying, I'm sure it's one of the mentors charging people. I know exactly. I have an idea of the person who it is, because there's a certain type of person or people that would do something like this. Because I mean, if you look at it, why would you go out of your way to go and type in an email without a legitimate, I personally think that if I was maybe taking on people's money, like Encore, which is a company that which is a fake company that uses a real company's FSP license, which I've reported, but they're still operating. So if I was doing something like that, if I took someone's money and I've never delivered on a service, I can understand why people would go to the extent. Like maybe if I took your money and you said I'll double your money, but then I don't, then I can understand why people would go lay in a complaint. But what type of person does it take to not have been physically harmed, or who hasn't lost anything, to go put in all of their effort? Maybe they could do the same with MDP. Like if you really want to change the world, go and do it with MDP. Because I mean, 3 months waiting for payouts, 7 months waiting for FCFF, and then you've got Andy the Goat, who promoted MDP in the first place, living the best life there, doesn't bother, don't care about the people's accounts that he passed who's not getting their money now. He also offered account management, which is not licensed to do so. But this man is just enjoying himself. So that's just the kind of things that I see and ask myself, but why? But I didn't do anything. So it's like, why would you come to me? You understand? So that's kind of the stuff that just gets me. But in any case, I'm not here to delve too much into this. Mr. Oba King is saying, hi Rolio, please have a look at USD JPY with the use of the Fibonacci tool. No problem. I will add USD JPY to the watches over here. Cool. So we had the break, actually pulled back lower. But we'll go through it right now. We got Mr. Akis saying, forget the haters, you do us proud. We love you. Sharing your knowledge. No problem. Thank you on that. This is taking very long. Thanks for the plug on the EA. Can you please tell us how to install it? I think there's a README file on there somewhere, but I'll probably drop a video sometime next week with that because I have to get a VPN because it's a zip file and I need to open it on there. Okay, Mr. Yusuf saying, I'm convinced South Africa is the #1 country in the world where people try getting ahead by pulling others down. That, and it's always, and it's not always just South Africans, it is people outside of South Africa as well. Thanks, Mr. Zach. I've been following you quite some time. Your videos are solid. I'm sorry for what happened. Unfortunately, good people who want to give back are the first to be attacked. 100%. The response from the FECA's vindication of that. Please do not stop. I see your love in technical and fundamental analysis far exceeds the money. Understand you should be the last person to be attacked. Nothing. The fact that you went the extra mile to make things legit while Insta scammers are roaming free. 100% correct. And that is the point that I'm trying to bring. Like, it's clear that the person who decided to go file a complaint, you know, actually supports scammers, if I see it that way. Because I still see these people, you know, operating, providing services that they are required to be licensed for. They still operate. They still come on my to-do list every day. What I can do for you is pray, keep it up. We believe you don't cut the light that is in you. God bless you. I appreciate that message so much. Don't worry, I will not cut the light, guys. I'm here and I'm here to stay. That was a long introduction, but let's get straight into the information. We had the core PCE data that came through, which is what I waited for before I made this video, month over month, which is giving us an indication of more or less whether inflation is cooling down or going higher. In this case, inflation had showed some signs of cooling down, which is why I do expect the dollar a deeper correction first and then a further continuation there as well. First article from CNBC is telling us that Dow futures jumped nearly 200 points, boosted by the new data showing that inflation rose less than expected. So it rose, but it just went up less than it. Well, it still went up. So the expectation was obviously that if the PCE came through hotter than expected, then the Feds would have most likely had to hike the interest rates. In this case, it's not really like that. CGS stock futures rose Friday as the latest inflation data gave the market a boost and helped investors make up some ground at the end of a tough month quarter. We are on the last month. The month actually ends on Sunday. So I do expect I'm going to have to go through the monthly on the index to see what kind of price action we have there. And I also wanted to look at this article from gold. It says your gold gets some respite but still poised for a quarterly fall. Quarterly January. So I think it would probably be December. Yeah, I'm not sure. It says your gold prices were up on Friday as a rally in the index and Treasury yield stalled but was on track for monthly and quarterly declines on decreased hopes that the US Federal Reserve would keep hiking interest rates higher. It says here the gold was up 0.4% and gold futures was up 0.6% to $1,889.80 per ounce. Yeah, so that's what we have, guys. I do expect the index, like I said, to just a deeper pullback, potentially up until this level and then a continuation. But let's go on the monthly time frame. Now, what do we have over here? So it's very clear that we do have a monthly candle. We've got the completion of this W formation over here. Now, you obviously know after a W formation, you normally expect a pullback to the neckline. And I still believe that the index is going to go back to these pandemic levels or pre-pandemic levels. And what we basically have here is that we've got this this level of resistance that the market had broken above. Right now, if this monthly candle does close above the structure, then this level of resistance would be then turned support. Now what I would like to see also is this candle basically close by Sunday. The long-term outlook for the index, again, like I said, it's probably going to be there, but that's if you are into swing trading. Yeah, on the weekly time frame, what do we have now? We can see here we had a massive rejection, and that is obviously because if you look left, we have this price, we've got this previous level of support over here that got broken. The market's back to test it as a resistance here as well. Again, weekly close above this, the way we've got structure here. I do expect probably a deep pullback and then a continuation to the upside. But if we do also see here, we've got this impulse. After an impulse, you expect a correction. Now, if you take your Fibonacci here from the low to the high, what we do here have is a confluence of the 0.382. Now, the 0.382 is also a previous level of resistance that got broken, that is now acting as a level of support where we could potentially see the market pull back to before a continuation to the upside. Here on the daily time frame, we're obviously faced with multiple structures over here. The first level that we are faced with is this previous level of resistance that got broken, that is now acting as support. If you do expect a deeper correction, we need the market to break structure first. So the best thing to do obviously is that we have this impulse to the downside, but what I would like to see also is for the market to print the new structure first, because then we can use that as a support and then get broken. But for where it is now, I do anticipate the index to go lower first, and then from there we can obviously, I'll probably go with this level over here, and then from there we can, once again, I'll give you guys another update. Also very important that we also have this level that the market is currently testing that I would like to see actually. So what I would suggest you guys do is wait for a clear break below this level. In fact, this is the level that we need to be waiting for. There we go. That's the perfect level. If we need to wait for a clear break below this previous level of resistance, that was broken, it's now support. Support would get broken, it would then be turned resistance, and then from there we look for that continuation to the downside. Next up, we do have the German 30, and the target was reached once again. From there, I do expect either a pullback or break above this level. However, market liquidity is to the downside, so I'm just gonna do that and then do that there as well. Next up, we do have the NASDAQ 100. So the NASDAQ went down as anticipated. The market's about to break back up into this structure that it had created here. This level over here acted as a level of support. The market then broke below support, tested it as resistance, came back, tested it as resistance, came back, tested it as resistance. The clear daily close above this level would give us room for the market to move to the upside. And the first level that we can expect the market to come and test is this level over here. The only way for us to know this for sure is that we need to wait for this daily close today. If the market does close above this level of resistance, that resistance would then be turned support. On the retest, you can start looking for that continuation to the upside for the market to again test that previous level of support that is now acting as a level of resistance as well. Next up, we've got the Dow Jones. Now the Dow Jones also found support. If you look left over here, the market found support, and we have a market that's once again back to go and test previous levels. I do expect this market to continue higher till there. From there, we can then continue to monitor the price. Next up, USD JPY. USD JPY, again, still I still do expect this market to continue higher. There is no doubt about that, because the Japan yen is always weak. Not always weak, but it's been doing very weak, and you can see how the price action follows here. So if you go basically, if you follow the market structure, you can see how we keep breaking, testing, breaking, testing, breaking, testing, breaking, testing, all the way to the top there as well. And that's basically that's the type of information that's the type of information people will take and then call it season 1, and then just add another blue line and then call it season 2, and then sell you the same thing that they did before. Next up, we've got gold. Now gold obviously had a massive fall to the downside, came to test this structural level over here. A pullback is expected. The market printed what's known as an overextended information. After an overextended information, You do expect a pullback to the left leg and then a continuation to the downside. Market printed a massive impulse. So after an impulse, you expect a correction. And if you take your Fibonacci from the high to the low of this impulse over here, you can see we've got a 0.382 that's lining up perfectly with this previous level of support that is now turned resistance. I do expect this market to continue higher. However, I will give you guys another update. If we do get a clear break above that on the pullback, we can expect that continuation to the upside. That is it from my side. If you do have any questions, please drop them down in the comment section below. And that is it. Thank you for your time. And as always, cheers for years.